Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cole, a game about Cole. I am writer-director Alan Wagner, and here with me is lead tech Isaac Steele and our producer Jennifer Mallet. Jeremy, I liked how the little toy you were trying to find in that demo was a coal mining cart. I don't know if that was intentional, but either way, I'm flattered. So yeah, as you know, we're developing this for Android and iOS platforms. Yeah, we were working in Unity a while, but about a week ago we decided, what the heck, and switched over to Unreal. Just kidding. We didn't do that. But yeah, as you know, the general idea is, at first this game seems to be a little puzzle game about who can shovel coal the fastest. Turns out you can escape that little coal room and have a big adventure. So this is the existence seminar. This is where you've first been spawned on the ship. And yeah, this is Larry the LearnBot in back is teaching the slaves the basics of how to move left and right, how to jump and stuff. And if you remember the previous incarnation of this level, it was kind of just one little small confined room. And through playtesting we found out people really wanted to walk around more while they're learning how to walk. But people really loved the character of Larry the LearnBot, so we decided to put him on this little Larry carriage in the back here, and he's carriaged around the level following you. So yeah, you can see the basic mechanics, jumping with the swipe, the sort of inverted swipe, moving left and right. Yeah, just a word on demo day last semester. The feedback we got was pretty clear, pretty consistent. People loved the characters, they loved the writing, the tone, the humor, the art, the animation. They didn't necessarily enjoy playing the game so much. So we decided, at the beginning of this semester we had two roads we could kind of follow. Either give the people more of what they want, build onto the story like we originally planned, have more characters, more narrative arcs, or sort of focus on our weak spot, really refine our gameplay, our platforming, our exploration. Ultimately we decided on the second path. So here you can see we're learning wall jumping. If the player's a little confused, they can check out these other slaves doing the motions. And you're a very acrobatic little man in this game. You can run up walls, jump off walls. We wanted to establish all that right now. And here's just a little area in this tutorial where you can sort of jump on these blocks, explore your movements without any consequences, any real goal besides exploring. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jay Mal, who's going to talk about some other things.
Okay, so after you've finished this tutorial, you're moved on to the coal room, which, as you saw before, is an oppressive, scary place for coal. But we've spent a lot of time since demo trying to make it a lot more clear. A lot of people, through playtests, were a little confused about their goals in the level, so we did a lot of things like adding an intro cinematic to show what you're supposed to be doing throughout the level. And we've just been really working on making things really clear and a lot more interesting. So we added like a little stoplight. It's not working right now, but because people were having trouble waiting to take their turn to go to the coal. So that's kind of a prompt on what they're supposed to do. We have a lot of camera movements to make it really clear what's going on. You obviously get practice with your attacks that you just learned how to do in the tutorial. So that's nice. It's reinforcing how to carry objects, which are used in different puzzles in the game. And you can keep going around in circles for as long as you like. Slowly getting points and being the most awesome coal slave ever. So, dodging fire, all that. So you get a lot of practice doing wall jumping, which is going to be used a lot in the rest of the game. And we also introduce food in the level, which is also important as in the survival aspect of coal. So we have all these prompts, just making it really clear, and just making it a lot more interesting too. We also added the overseer instead of just a number of small slave driver guys, which has simplified things, and he also just really does add a lot to the creepy atmosphere. When you have this guy just teleporting in your face with a giant eye. It lets the player know that they're being watched, and disobedience won't be tolerated. So So the other cool slaves aren't really the best. You're kind of coolest. Also, one addition that we added to the atmosphere in the level is the break room. We can get up there, which we thought, you have kind of a weird bureaucracy thing going on with the other, with the robots in control. So that's interesting. Yeah. So this helps people get used to the so you're punished for not going along with the norm. But this is just another way for people to get kind of more used to how the dialogue system works. Yeah. You're punished for going too slowly, of course. So you're able to keep going as long as you want, but you can also escape at any time, whether it's the first cycle or your 20th cycle or whatever. If you go down to the bottom corner. We've been trying to make it really obvious how to escape, so as you go through, animations get more obvious on that there is a grate that you can escape from. Eventually it'll be highlighted in red and everything else will be dark if you keep cycling on and on. And this is Cole's way to go see the rest of the ship. So I'm gonna hand this over to Alan now so he can show you guys the AC room level.
So we're loading up the AC level. This is one of our big exploratory sort of Metroidvania style stages. And so a lot of the feedback we got over our previous level design was the art was very monotonous. It was very easy to get lost. Also that there was nothing to really interact with or be challenged by aside from the enemies. So you can see here, we're still having trouble, attracting artists, but even something as simple as tinting the background a different color helps people not get lost. They realize, oh, the purple room, I've been here before. So that's one thing we've been focusing on. And we're just trying to implement different kinds of puzzles. For example, there's these two big pulsating walls of doom in this AC room, and we just want to challenge the player to use the mechanics they've learned in new and interesting ways. So you can see your wall running mechanic. Enemies, you hit them with your shovel, then you can jump off of them to other platforms. And we've implemented little mechanics like these switches and the air blast that blows you up, and even this bouncy material. So, all little different mechanics just to make our level design more varied, more engaging. And yeah, we've seen a definite improvement in playtests. Cool. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jam Master J Mallet, and she's going to talk about something else.
Best introduction ever. Yeah, so obviously a big part of Cole is the characters in the game. We really want to make sure the SS spaceship seems like a real spaceship with lots of people living on it. It's not just, a game with a couple of people interspersed. So we've tried to have a lot of really interesting characters. And this is Francis. He lives near the engine room. As you go through the level, you have him kind of messing with you, pretending to be the SS spaceship. And this is what happens right afterwards. He's a kind of interesting guy. So we have the drought going on the ship, which is one of the main issues, in the story. All the characters are dying of thirst slowly because the pipes are all blocked off. So it's kind of explaining a bit of what's going on because it's been kind of a mystery before this point. You have like Rick and Tom and Marie and Dinah and people just kind of thirsty, but haven't had anyone really explain the situation super clearly yet. So. So he's kind of explaining what's going to happen in the next level a little bit after this. And backstory stuff. Totally gross. So yeah, we've tried to have a lot of interesting dialogue going on in the game, story. This is a platformer, but we really want to make sure it has a lot of heart. Yeah, so this is Marie. She lives at the top of the AC room. She before this, she gives you a bit of advice on what to do with the whole Rick and Tom situation from demo day that we showed you guys. Really nice old lady, but yeah, Colty's not really liking her too much here. So yeah, dog's trying to kill her. Should we help her? Do you guys think we should do anything about it? Or
No.
no? No? Okay. Yeah. I mean, maybe he'll stop. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's just a short circuit, obviously.
Help her.
No.
Okay. I guess the murderers.
Winter is coming.
Yeah. You guys killed her.
The dog is
Yep.
not us.
Well, okay. But you didn't save her.
So
Blood is on your hand.
Yeah. Blood's on your hands.
we're like Cole. Hey.
Yeah. And that's his best friend. You're killing Bolty now.
Oh yeah.
So this game's not happy children's game all the time.
Free barbecue.
To be continued. Yeah. So, lots of interesting character stuff going on in the game. Poor Marie. Yeah, she helped you out so much before, and now she's dead forever. So sad. So, yeah, after this is the Worm Runner level, which is a really interesting boss fight going on. So I'm going to let Isaac explain how that works and why it's awesome.
I had no choice. So this is the Worm Runner, where everyone has basically warned you about the big worm. And you have to navigate this maze to turn on the water. There's a switch in the center of the room where you would turn on the water, but since the pipes are currently blocked, you have to go around the Worm Runner maze to unblock the pipes. There's 3 in total. You ground pound them, and the water starts flowing out of them, and once you've unblocked all 3 of them, then you can flip the switch and flood the chamber, killing the worm essentially. When we were making this initially, getting the logic, the A logic for the worm was a bit tricky, to have it follow Cole effectively, to have it just not turn immediately on its tail, to not get stuck in certain areas of the maze. And I worked with Joel Clark when initially building this section. And, you can also see that there's baby worms that will attach to you and slow you down, and you have to shake them off so that you can keep outrunning the worm. And if Cole is in an area that the worm can't reach, I guess it got... Okay, so while they're fixing that, if you get into an area where the worm is not able to get you, then the worm will just go around the maze until you come back into it, and then it will actively search you out again. And we're back, live. And so you can see from the pipe as he was jumping away from it, there's water flowing out of it again. And just being able to get through the maze, dodging the worm babies, you will be able to get the water flowing again, fix the drought, and eventually be able to ride the water up and see the captain. Watch out!
So for demo day, you know, we are just mostly trying to adhere to the 3 Ps, polish, playtest, and ON. Those are really what we're trying to. It's really our main focus right now are those 3, and yeah, we just really want to have as many playtests as possible. You know, not add too much new narrative content, tweak the narrative content, just so we know the player understands the story and their goal. But other than that, really focus on the exploration, the platforming. We feel these are our weak points that we feel there's a lot of potential. Yeah, so that is us. That is Cole. Thank you very much for your time. Does anyone have any questions?
If there are other questions replied by on all these communication levels, are you doing voiceover or is it just text?
Yeah, we're focused.
Them specifically. I want them to voice act.
Okay, well, what's going to happen in the game?
Text.
And there's going to be a sound effect that goes along with all of them, like there is with Larry the LearnBot right now, where it's that sort of like beeping noise.
Yeah.
But we have to get sound effects for all the rest of them and make it sound more organic.
So does the game end when you're just a captain?
Well, thing we're sort of in the process of figuring out because you know, the original story we intended to tell ended up being very, very out of scope. So, you know, we had this narrative in place where you're trying to fix this drought, and we had that in place. That was only meant to, like, be the first act that gets us into the world of Cole. So we don't feel like putting the captain right after the drought will be narratively satisfying. So we're trying to figure out a way to end it on an ambiguous but still satisfying note.
You'll find out.
All right.
Thank you.